watching a lot of Seinfeld lately, and up until 10 a.m. yesterday, this homily was going to be like a Seinfeld episode. A homily about nothing. Because I had nothing for content for this homily. And a lot of work deadlines this week, so although I knew the readings of the week, I couldn't seem to focus enough to get something for the homily. And I kept telling God, you're not going to let me stand here on Saturday and Sunday and not have any content. And if there's one thing you know about deadlines, in the workforce, if you miss your deadline, you just are late, and you keep working on it. And you might get in trouble, you might get reprimanded, but you just keep working. In church world, if you don't have content for a homily, they don't push masses out. You stand here with no content, which would be pretty embarrassing. So I was really worried quite a bit all week. And then, 10 o'clock yesterday morning, ironically in a hotel room, I started frantically writing notes on my phone that had some content. You might recognize this reading because it sounds like the Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor, blessed are the hungry. But technically, it's not all of the Beatitudes. That comes from the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew's Gospel, where there's 8 Beatitudes or blessings. This is the Sermon on the Plain. Notice Jesus is on level ground with the people, not up on the mountain. And so there's 4 blessings, followed by 4 woes. And it was the woes that troubled me all week. What's wrong with being rich, or being happy and laughing, or being filled, or having people speak well of me? There's nothing in and of itself that's bad about those things, but Jesus says, woe to those who are filled, or satisfied, or happy. And then it struck me. It's all about attitude. All that worry all week, God had put that in front of me, and I didn't see it. There was a time this week when my wife said to one of my children, don't give me that attitude. I heard it so much in the house, it didn't strike me at the time. And then I read something somewhere about the only difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude. I encounter people at work that have what we call a bad attitude, and they can drag you down at work. We probably all work with people that we've labeled having a bad attitude. And the thing that cinched it for me was an article in the Union Leader this week about the UNH women's hockey coach, assistant coach. Been diagnosed with cancer, had to tell his family, and then had to tell the team, and he didn't know how to do it. And ultimately, the article, I think the headline was, it's all about your attitude. He had trained the women on the hockey team that scoring goals was all about having a goal-scoring attitude. And he had the same approach to beating his cancer. It was all about having a positive attitude. So all of that worry that I had was all focused on me. I like to follow my own advice of trusting God and not trusting man. But when it came down to coming up with content for the homily, even though I'm looking for God's actions in my life and where's He pointing me relative to the readings, in my head it was still all about me. I'm the one that has to stand here on Saturday night and Sunday morning and speak what I think He's told me about the readings for the week. So I was focused all about me and all worried all week. Where am I going to get the content? Rather than looking for what He put right in front of me. All of that worry wasted. And so the summary for me and for you was summed up in this other phrase that I saw during the week, if I can remember it correctly. Worry is a conversation we have with ourselves about things we cannot change. But prayer is a conversation we have with God about things He can change.